quiet and secure. We hear that all the time. Please visit RBARapidCity.com to schedule a free consultation. Be sure to ask about our great offers and really attractive financing options right now. Renewal by Anderson Windows and Entry Doors. Isn't it time?
Hi, this is David Brenneman with Coldwell Banker, Black Hills Legacy in Rapid City. Have you thought about buying a home or real estate in the Black Hills? Maybe you want to upgrade to your forever home? I have been helping people in the Black Hills find the right home for nearly 20 years. When it comes to buying or selling, experience matters. Let me do the work, and you can open the door to your new home. Say hello to a good buy with me, David Brenneman. To get started, just Google David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker.
It's pouring all summer long at Cadillac Jack's. It's the Make It Rain $125,000 downpour. Be here every Friday and Saturday from 8 p.m. till midnight for drawings every 30 minutes that start out at $300 and grow to $1,000 prize packages at 11, 11:30, and midnight. Then on Saturday, July 18th, 10 lucky winners will take home their share of $10,000 in cash and prizes at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort. How will your night play out?
Hi, I'm Tim Wrench, and I'm seeking personal injury cases. If you've been injured because someone else did something wrong, call me up. I'm a trial lawyer. I've tried criminal and civil cases for decades, and I can use all of that experience to help you. I also know this, that when insurance companies know that you're represented by a trial lawyer, they take your claim more seriously, and if it is to be settled, it's settled better with a trial lawyer. Wrench Law, 605-341-1111, wrenchlaw.com.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
We are Fox Sports!
And here's what you need to know.
We've got a six-way tie for the lead right now in round one of the PGA Championship at 3 under, including Scotty Scheffler and Justin Thomas. Rory McIlroy shot a 4 over 74 today, already 7 shots off the lead. Let's listen in on his post-round news conference.
Rory, how would you describe your opening round? All right, thank you.
Anywho, in Major League Baseball, the St. Louis Cardinals scored 2 runs in the top of the 9th inning for a 5-4 lead against the Athletics. They now have 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning. Earlier, the New York Mets hit 5 home runs in a 9-4 win over the Tigers to sweep their 3-game series. Detroit's lost 8 of 9. The Seattle Mariners victorious at Houston 8-3. Luke Raley, a 3-run home run, his 10th of the year. However, before the contest, the Mariners placed catcher Cal Raleigh on the 10-day injured list due to a right oblique strain. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome in. Good Thursday afternoon. It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show. You know that. You're here. You're ready. I'm back and ready. 2 hours thought-provoking sports talk for South Dakota. We are live on Fox Sports Radio, our affiliates, Fox Sports Rapid City and KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls. Welcome in. Hope you've had a great Thursday. You're on your drive home, where it's always a great day in South Dakota. You bet. Thanks for checking in. The Nate Brown Show live, and great guest tonight. First-time guest, but a big-time announcer. He is coming up. You've listened to him. You've watched him for a long time. We've got him tonight straight ahead. So let's get after it. You can stream us on X at Nate Brown Show. Watch us live and watch the show live and archive. You can replay it, you bet, on X. Follow us at Nate Brown Show and watch us there on X. YouTube channel, same story. We're live right now, The Nate Brown Show on YouTube, and you can watch the archive shows of this week and in the past. So if you missed anything, go to YouTube, search The Nate Brown Show, and you've got to subscribe to the channel. We'd appreciate you. And Midwest Sports Plus up right now on the new high school sports streaming app, live games, and The Nate Brown Show live on Midwest Sports Plus. Get the app and get the show. Thanks for checking in. Thursday happy hour is coming up, so that's Rob Kagron's turn. Rob's going to come in next hour, full hour. National radio host Rob Kagron live in studio, so we'll have fun there. Big day for Rob, man. He's counting down the NFL schedule release. And yeah, I've got some news there. I'm going to get after that too. So Rob Kagron's coming up with a Thursday happy hour. Until then, I told you, big-time announcer. This guy's been great. I mean, this is a Hall of Fame level guy. He's in tonight, Fox Sports, college football and college basketball announcer, play-by-play man, Tim Brando. Hey, we've got Tim coming up live from Louisiana, so we'll talk to Tim Brando about mainly the state of college football. And by the way, Fox Sports just signed him to an extension. So Tim Brando going to shoot it around, one of the all-time greats. He's coming up. We'll go down to Omaha tonight. Gary Sharp is on, Omaha Sports broadcaster, play-by-play man. Gary Sharp talking Huskers, talking a little bit of the softball regional, and more. Gary Sharp is in tonight. So hang on. Thursday happy hour, getting ready to go. Rob Kagron will be in shortly. Let's get you in if you want. Thursday show, join us. 605-720-1067. 605-720-1067. Direct line into the show. Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline. Powered by the Pizza Ranch. Great locations in Brandon and East 10th Street, Sioux Falls. The best buffet is at the Pizza Ranch. Everything you want. Bring the kids for the Fun Zone Arcade. It's outstanding. Great place in Brandon. Great location, East 10th Street, Sioux Falls. The Pizza Ranch. Locally owned and operated and home of everyone's favorite buffet. Barron's Wilson text line, another way to be a part of the program. It is the same number. Text the show here. We'll get those out on the air. 605-720-1067. Answer our question of the day. Win a buffet to the Pizza Ranch. Easy to do. How about a free buffet from the Nate Brown Show? We'll set you up there. Just answer the question of the day. On the text line, we pull out a winner, and we'll contact you through the text line if you win in our question of the day, brought to you by the Pizza Ranch. Okay. I'm going to get into the NFL schedule release, not breaking every single thing down, but two things that jump out to me. Two things here on the NFL schedule release. Now, this is a big marketing ploy. Oh, believe it. Imagine that. The NFL, they leak stuff out and it trickles out, and we're talking about it from Monday till now. So I don't spend a ton of time like, oh, this game, this schedule, that game. There's stuff that jumps out to me. And one thing is this, and I'm gonna go to our question of the day on this. And I don't know if this matters or not. And that's why I legitimately bring it up. So the NFL is now going to have a record 9 international games. So that's one of the big parts of this. I know our teams, your Vikings, my Broncos, your Packers, your Cowboys, whatever. You're always looking, hey, when are the games so we can make our plans to go and here and there. So that's all good, and we'll break some of that down. But that comes out tonight at 6 o'clock Mountain, 7 Central. So the official schedules. But if you're on social media at all, you've seen some of this stuff already. And I'll dig into some Viking stuff, which I noticed, some Broncos stuff, which I really noticed. What a raw deal. But don't get me started. I'll get to the Broncos here in a second. First things first, the big schedule release, 9 international games. And one is going to be that first Thursday. Here's how the NFL is going to do this year. They're going to go Wednesday night game. Normally we start on a Thursday. This show, we're always live from Tin Lizzy, BetMGM Sportsbook. We're always there, ready to go on a Thursday. They're going to go Wednesday. So can we put that? We better make that note. Wednesday night to start there in September, they're going to go Patriots-Seahawks. So there's my first demerit. There's my first demerit on the NFL schedule release today. Do you want to see the rematch of the Super Bowl? I don't get that one. We could have had a lot of teams against the Seahawks. You always go with the Super Bowl champ. I get it. So that's great. We got to go Patriots-Seahawks again in Seattle. So I'm not going to lose my mind, but we're going to go Wednesday night. Patriots-Seahawks is what they're putting out there. That's just the game we just saw in February. Then Thursday is that first international game. So you're going to have an international game, Rams 49ers, Thursday, Melbourne, Australia. Now, I said this last night on the show. I would like some of these big-time games right out of the gate, some of these kickoff games. I would like all for them to be here in the U.S. I think that's only fair for the season ticket holders, the fans that would go to these games. And so this isn't just about the USA against everybody else. That's not what this is about. My deal is the NFL has gone down this road. We're going to go worldwide. We're going to go money worldwide. We're going to get the brands worldwide. And I do believe they don't give a rip about the season ticket holders, the fans that actually want to watch the 49ers and Rams. That's a great divisional game, and we're taking it to Australia. Well, I guess you can go on a trip. Well, good luck. Have fun. I mean, a select few. So the whole thing is the fans have built this league into what it is, the money, the tickets, everything. And then we just take these big games. These are big games, guys. 49ers, Rams, that's huge. And you're just taking it out. You're just putting it, it's like some exhibition. It's not an exhibition. This is the real deal. So there's my second demerit. But let me just ask you this. So I'll ask you guys if this matters at all. And maybe it's just going to be if your team's on one of these international games or not. My team has been. The Broncos have been there. You guys, Vikings fans, you guys know this. What'd you do back-to-back last year? Remember, they stayed over there. They did back-to-back international games. So let me just ask you this. It is a record for international games this year. The NFL has set a record, the most international games, 9 games out of the country. Some of these are the early morning stuff, right? So you do the 7:30 Mountain Time thing. You get up and everybody's kind of here's where I was on this. I've been okay with a few. I haven't railed against this and said, "Oh, this is stupid. This is ridiculous." A few of the morning stuff, a few of the international games doesn't bother me. I understand they're trying to build the European fan base and the worldwide fan base. I get what that's about. Now we're up to 9, and guess what? My guess is this is only going to get more and more. They've talked about taking this thing almost on a weekly basis. They've talked about having teams do this on a weekly basis. So you'd have almost every team in the league. Yeah, you'd essentially have every team in the league go international at least once. And I just don't think we need to go down that road at all. And I do think it does impact the fans, whether the NFL cares. I don't think they give a rip at all. They don't, because they look at this, they say, this is about the brand, the business, the money. That's what it's about. It's not a secret. But do we have to keep it up because we're up to 9? Now we're going to go, I think they might try and get this to every week, every team. And that's where I can't have it. So maybe it's, again, me, old guy, yelling at the clouds. But I will ask you, does it matter to you the NFL's gone a record 9 international games for this upcoming season? And some of the big ones. I mean, some of these games are big. One of the first ones, Thursday night, the first week of the season, Thursday night game, Rams, 49ers. I just had lunch with a Rams fan. He just couldn't stand it. He cannot stand it. He said, this is just getting out of control. And that's kind of where I've been at. We're okay with a few, and now you start picking more games. Eventually, you're going to get some of these big games in international territory. And guess what? The Australian people and stuff, do they care at all? Do they care about Rams, 49ers like 49er fans? Like Ram fans? Well, there's worldwide fans. No, there's really not. I've been told about this, that it's going to get big. It's going to get huge. Soccer is the sport in Europe. You guys know this. We'll find that out here in the World Cup in 2 months. Soccer's the sport. Football, yeah, kind of. But it's really NFL fans. Some of our guys end up traveling and doing the whole thing, and maybe you can turn it into a vacation. Great, but not many people can. And now the NFL's taking some huge games and going international. So you tell me, question of the day answer, and I'm going to get to 2 more things here on the schedule release for the NFL. It's coming up, but all this stuff's been leaked out. So we pretty much already know who's going to play who. You tell me, does it matter that the NFL's gone to the most ever international games? Do the international games matter? Your listener text on our question of the day is 605-720-1067 on the Nate Brown Show. I'd appreciate it. Do you hate it? There's too many, or it doesn't matter? We watch anyway. That's my question of the day. Twitter says what? 74% hate it. There's too many now. I'm a little surprised by that. I thought, it's okay. My team's never impacted, I guess, and it's just once. It's here and there. Now it's 9 games, and some pretty big games, by the way. 74% hate it. Too many international games on the schedule, up to a record 9. 26% of you say it doesn't matter. You tell me on the text line as well, 605-720-1067, your read. And by the way, speaking of the schedule release, can I just do a little whining? I don't have to whine much, but Tim Brando's coming up, so I got to get tough here in a second. But I'm going to do some whining first. So my Denver Broncos almost make it to the Super Bowl. Do you feel good? Yeah, we feel good. You only have in the Super Bowl era here, you only got like a 2 to 3 year window when you're good. It's like a 2 to 3 year window. So when you're good, you got to make it count. They got a huge injury last year. Bo Nix goes down. Otherwise, we're in good shape. So that year's gone. Great year, but it's gone. So now this next year, you're thinking, hey, we might have a tough schedule, but how tough? Look at this. The Denver Broncos get absolutely hosed by the NFL in their first 6 weeks. I'm going to go over this. You ready? You ready? Chiefs, Jaguars, Chargers, 49ers, Seahawks, Rams. What are these guys doing? What's Roger Goodell and the crew done? And then, yes, on the backside, we finally get Dolphins in December and the Jets and the Raiders. Hey, okay, that's great. 6 weeks straight. First 6 weeks. Chiefs, Jaguars, Rams, 49ers, Chargers, Seahawks. I know we got to play NFC West. That's tough right there. Can we splash the Cardinals in? Can we splash the Cardinals in like week 2? Maybe give us the Raiders instead of the Chargers when he already gave us the Chiefs. And then, by the way, we get 1 week Cardinals, and then it's Chiefs again at home. So you look at the Broncos schedule. I know when you have a nice season, it gets a little tougher. I understand. But the first 6 weeks, just a heads up, Broncos fans, the way these games got placed, we knew who we were playing. I understand. The way these games got placed, the Broncos got, this is brutal. This is absolutely brutal. I know you got to play 17 games. Great. That is brutal. Let's go to the Vikings side of this. I'm not going to go through all of the schedule here for the Vikings. But the Vikings are going to start out 2 games divisional right away. And what do you guys think of this? I'm interested in this. Vikings are going to play Packers week 1 in Minnesota. So Green Bay comes to Minnesota right away in week 1. Make your plans. Get ready to go. And then it's Bears on the road right after that. So I'm going to say, some people say, hey, you shouldn't have the divisional stuff like that right off the bat. 2 big games like that. Packers and then Bears. But I'm okay for the Vikings, you guys, to go to Chicago early in the year. Nice weather. Don't have to worry about playing outside in Chicago when it gets really nasty. The Vikings haven't done well in that environment. I do remember that. So I'll take that. The one thing I'm pointing out, boy, I know I've been getting a lot of trash about Kyler Murray, and I'm the vice president of the Kyler Murray South Dakota fan club. So I'm the vice president. I'm still looking for a president. Why do you think the primetime game, the afternoon game on that first Sunday, you know who it is? Fox. Afternoon, primetime, number 1 game, Vikings-Packers. They must think Kyler Murray and this Vikings team might be interesting. Kyler Murray's getting the Tom Brady treatment right off the bat. Week 1, afternoon game Sunday in Minnesota against the Packers, and it's the Fox number 1 game of the week. Kyler against Green Bay. Some highlights to note. Schedule release coming out officially shortly. My Broncos are hosed. I will say this for your holidays. The holiday highlights. Thanksgiving might be the best Thanksgiving slate I've seen. Thanksgiving might be the best. So say hi to your family. You know, enjoy that, and then you're going to be watching football. Packers, Rams, Wednesday. That's Thanksgiving Eve. Bears, Lions, Eagles, Cowboys, Chiefs, Bills. My goodness. That's the Thanksgiving day. Normally you get not a great matchup and there's somebody bad playing the Cowboys. That's a good Thanksgiving lineup right there. And then Christmas is good. Just got to have Netflix, right? Christmas is good. So there's some good highlights. My Broncos in a bad spot. They got hosed first 6 weeks, so everybody's going to be calling the show and texting the show telling me, look at what happened. Your Broncos, especially Matt Kearney, he's going to be saying, your Broncos are toast. They might be through 6 weeks. Doesn't look great. Coming right back with Tim Brando. Fox Sports lead college football, college basketball play-by-play man. Really good. He's live next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
It's time for an upgrade, and don't spend a dime for 2 years. That's right, 0 zip zilch with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 24 months. That's May 2028. Say goodbye to drafts and outdated design, and hello to our acclaimed replacement windows and our stunning ensemble entry doors. Get energy-efficient windows and doors and beautiful upgrades with zero regrets. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps 1 minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
There are 1 billion credit card transactions around the world every day. That's 11,698 swipes a second. It's easy to forget that behind each one, there's a person, a family, a dream, a connection being made. The Black Hills Federal Credit Union Visa, for members who want to make the most of every transaction.
Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
Welcome back in South Dakota Sports Talk Show live on a Thursday. Busy show tonight. Hang tight. Gary Sharp's coming up from Nebraska. We'll get into the softball regional with Gary. Coyotes against the Huskers. Also going to get into some Huskers a little bit. Gary Sharp's coming up from Omaha. Omaha play-by-play man. I think we've got him. Great play-by-play man. College football, college basketball. You see him on Fox. And it's the first time on South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Glad to have him. I've watched him a lot. Tim Brando on the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Radio here in Sioux Falls and Rapid City. Tim, welcome in. How are you?
Good afternoon, Nate. I'm great. Just got off the golf course and happy to talk to you.
Well, I appreciate.
Well, I got no breaks on the greens, and I couldn't, for whatever reason, get the speed right. I played in a scramble the other day at another golf course. I think it affected me. But I shot an 80, 41 on the front, 39 on the back, so a birdieless 80 is always a good ball striking day, so I'm okay.
Okay, and you're on the golf course, and that's okay, so I love it.
Indeed, that's right, absolutely.
Welcome into South Dakota. I appreciate you coming on. Wanted to talk college sports with you, and number one, you get a contract extension, so congratulations to you. We'll see you on Fox for some time to come.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to go at least for 3 more years, and we'll see how I feel then. I've had a wonderful run, and Fox has been so good, so kind to me. It's been a great landing spot for me at this stage of my life. The last time we signed in 23, I knew that it was going to get me to 40-plus years on network television. And, you know, I think as we get older, we have these goals, things that we adjust our goals along the way. Some things we really wanted to accomplish in our career because we love it. This time, honestly, if they had said, you know what, Tim, we think, we're not sure that you're at your best, I would have understood. I would have, but they feel about my work apparently the same way I do, and that is that I haven't lost my fastball. I'm having more fun than I ever have, and why would you stop doing something you love if you're still good at it? And I still feel, not only do I feel I'm good at it, I think I'm better at it now than I've ever been. So until such time as I'm headed to that airport, and Nate, I feel like I'm not that pumped up to be going to the airport, I'm going to keep doing it. I love college sports. I love sports in general, but particularly the 2 sports that I cover for Fox, generally speaking, is college football and college basketball. I've done some NFL, and last year they even asked me to sub for Kurt Menefee on a UFL game, and I enjoyed that. They're just great people, and I'm thrilled that I get to continue to do something I love as much as I love my career and my job. And my wife is happy about it, too. I think if I stayed past August 15th home, she'd be like, "Get the hell out of here! Okay, it's time for you to go."
That's right.
So it's a great thing. I get 4+ months to recharge my battery, and trust me when I tell you, when toe meets leather in September, I will be fired up and ready to go.
All right, we're ready. Tim Brando on tonight, courtesy of the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline, Fox Sports play-by-play man. He's on X as well, at Tim Brando. You can follow him. He's here on the Nate Brown Show. So did you ever think, you talk about broadcasting and all your longevity and everything you've seen, how about the state of college football, college basketball right now, meaning Ohio State NIL budget, they're saying around $45 million. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. I've got no problem with the changes that have been made in terms of the sport growing, or whether it's college football or basketball. I think that the players always needed to be compensated beyond room and tuition. I always felt that way, and a lot of people in my generation don't. But they were living in fantasy land. They had no idea that this was a business. And it's always been a business. I have a different view because of the career I chose and something I knew I wanted to do when I was in my teens. You know, I started broadcasting high school football with my dad in 1971. I was 14 years old. So this is something I always wanted to do. There was never a choice for me. I was going to do this for my life. I knew that. But I also saw what was wrong, particularly with college football, when I got involved with it. It was like, here are these people sweating and working to make millions for everybody else, and they're not getting a piece of the pie. Now, look, are they getting too much of it now? Yes, they are. But why are they? It's not because of them. It's not because of the players. It's because the adults in the room didn't govern. They didn't do their jobs. The NCAA was incompetent. For 15 years, they kicked the can down the curb, not doing anything about the O'Bannon case that everyone knew they were going to lose, and they lost. So now the schools, all of them at the FBS level, are on the hook for $20.5 million a year annually for revenue share. When that lawsuit was settled, everyone knew that they were going to have to do what? Create more revenue streams. How do you do that? Through television, okay, through access, through expansion. With revenue streams, you have to have inventory. Inventory's got to grow. And that's what's going on now. It's why we're headed to 24 teams in the college football playoff. To a lesser extent, it's one of the reasons why they're going to 76 in the NCAA tournament. But that's a separate issue. The NCAA has control of that. They don't have control of football.
Right.
They haven't had control since 1984. And when I say that to people, they don't even know what I'm talking about. They have no idea that the NCAA has had no stake whatsoever in college football revenues. They totally missed that. But my career would not have taken off at ESPN in 1985 were it not for that lawsuit that was won by the University of Georgia and Oklahoma. ABC had control of everything because of the NCAA, and the NCAA wouldn't put more than 1 or 2 games max on television on the Saturdays. The school said, enough, we're going to take it to the Supreme Court. They won. And then the influx of cable television and the birth of College Game Day, which I was the original host of, all that happened in my lifetime and in my career at the very beginning of it. So that's something I've lived, Nate, and fans, especially those that are between 25 and 49, they don't even know what I'm talking about when I say this.
Right.
They don't. But you've got to know the history to have context and understand why we are where we are. Okay, it's not the player's fault, not the coach's fault, but the NCAA and the presidents and the chancellors of the schools that decided to allow the NCAA to continue to play a role in governance even after they lost that lawsuit. That was just because, as leaders of those schools, they didn't want the responsibility to police their own sports. They didn't want to do that. So they empowered the NCAA, and the NCAA was greedy in every respect, and they undermined the very sports that they should have been trying to promote because they lost that lawsuit. So that's why we're where we are right now. And I believe that Tony Petitti, the commissioner of the Big Ten, is doing with vision what he feels he needs to do. And now the other commissioners outside of Greg Sankey, who for whatever reason is now, I don't know, on the outside looking in because his almighty SEC hasn't played for a national title in 3 years, is not making the same kind of money in television that the Big Ten is, even though he'll put his chest out and say, we're too good to play on Friday nights, and we are the conference where it just means more. Well, guess what? You know, everybody else isn't exactly where you are, but in numbers, they're stronger than you are. And that's why we've reached this impasse that we're at right now.
So you believe, Tim, you said we're headed to 24. So Big Ten wants it. Big 12.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Okay.
There's no doubt about that.
Okay.
I mean, I don't care. I don't care what a podcaster says. I don't care what Dan Wetzel says, Stuart Mandel says. I don't care what Matt Hayes says. We're going to 24. And when somebody says to me, Nate, well, they're doing it just for the money. Well, yeah, that's the way it's always been. Nothing gets done without a need for revenue. Yeah. And by the way, the need for revenue is there because the NCAA didn't do their damn jobs years ago and give the players a piece of the pie.
Yeah.
Okay. They were taken to court and got their ass kicked. And every time they've been taken to court, they've gotten their ass kicked. And now they're in a position, the conferences, the schools, are in a position where every one of those schools, think about it, 138 FBS schools in those conferences have to meet a $20.5 million nut to cover the House settlement that came from this lawsuit.
Yeah.
$20.5 million
per year.
Now, on top of that, per year. Where do you think that money comes from, Nate? It isn't coming from On3. It's not coming from the Athletic. It's not coming from Outkick, and it's not coming from Barstool. It's coming from network television, for Christ's sake. And so even ESPN, even the Disney company, with all of the Mickey Mouse money they've got, they can't handle that on their own. They can't. So college football is the second most popular sport in America, yet it makes the fifth most among all sports. The NHL, the NBA, and MLB all make more television money. Why is that? Why? Because Good Old Boy Network has been governing college football on television. It's time everybody got involved. College football should have every network involved, just like the NFL does. And right now, by the way, worldwide leader is in charge of everything. Listen, I started my career there. I love ESPN. Okay, I wouldn't be where I am without them. But they can't handle this themselves. They got a contract right now that is so bad for them that they have to sublease games to TNT because they don't want to get their butts kicked in the ratings because of the calendar that has them playing games in their playoff opposite NFL playoff games. How stupid is that? How stupid is that?
I got to ask you this. Tim Brando on tonight, Fox Sports TV play-by-play, legendary announcer on the Nate Brown Show here in South Dakota. A couple more, I'll let you run, Tim. What's the reaction to people that say, well, you go to 24 teams, now Ohio State and Michigan, that last game of the year, they're both in, and so what if they don't take that game serious? They rest their starters because they got 5 playoff games in front of them.
Never happened. Don't ever doubt the passion within programs in college football and the work ethic and the level of play that you'll always see. What separates the NCAA basketball tournament from the god-awful NBA playoffs and the god-awful ratings that the NBA gets? I'll tell you what separates it. Effort. When you're playing in college, you play your ass off. You play hard. Now, look, there may be a few that, we know who they are. They might take, they may do that. They may take some time off, but they're not going to last on that team. They're not, okay? And the level of interest and energy from those fans in those rivalry games will always be there. Nate, the biggest problem college football has had with only 2 teams playing and then 4, you saw what happened last year with 12. We saw the balance and the level of parity when the losingest team in the history of Division I college football wins a national championship. My God.
Yeah.
If we don't see now what the NIL and the portal has done to equalize things and to bring parity, when are we going to see it? But don't doubt when you go on a college campus what it means to the fan base or to the players that are playing on those teams. Yeah, they're making money, but they're still between 18 and 22. They also love the game at a level that they would never love it 5, 6, 7 years in at the next level playing in the pros. What we're going to get if the Michigan, Ohio State, or the Auburn, Alabama, or give me another one, the Oklahoma State game doesn't mean what it once meant. Okay, if it doesn't mean what it once meant overall, it'll still mean a lot to the people that care deeply, which is what? The hardcore fans. The playoffs bring the entire country involved. Okay? Mass appeal when you got a playoff taking place. This is a country that has been watching the MLB expand, the NBA expand. All of our sports comes down to what? Playoffs. And college football is finally getting around to understanding that. When we only had 4 teams, I could tell you in June okay, the 4 teams that I would pick to be in the 14 playoff, and I would be right on at least 3 of them every stinking year.
Right.
Now that we have 12 and we're in the NIL portal era, I could tell you as many as 20 teams have a chance to be in that field of 12, and of that 12, probably 6 or 7, maybe 8 could win it all. Hey, man, that's great for the game. That's great for the game. So for what we might have diluted in the regular season, we will get 2- and 3-fold once we build our pro season. This myth that college football's regular season was the greatest of all time is BS. It's excrement, okay? What makes college football great is having a championship format that the entire country can get behind. Tony Batiti has been a visionary since he started the BCS with Roy Kramer in '92 as a young programming executive. No, the writers don't like him because he doesn't return calls. Greg Sankey will throw a press conference in the parking lot of a Target in Birmingham, Alabama, and give you Kamala Harris word salad. He says nothing. We've got a leader in the Big Ten now that's got vision, and the other commissioners know it. That's why we're going to 24.
I love the passion tonight from Tim Brando on the Nate Brown Show. I'm going to let you run with this. We could keep going, but I'm going to let you run with this. You've been in a lot of stadiums, a lot of venues. Give me your top 3 college football venues.
Well, you know, the LSU fans, even though I live in Louisiana, aren't happy with me after what I said about Lane Kiffin yesterday, but so be it. Saturday night, Tiger Stadium is the best venue you can ever be in.
It is.
If you've never been to a game, at Tiger Stadium, and daylight games are okay too, but Saturday night at Tiger Stadium is uno number 1. I mean, it's the best. I would also tell you that when they run through the T in Knoxville at Neyland Stadium, that's unbelievable too. The Big House is the best in the Big Ten without question.
Okay.
And I would also say that without a doubt, if you go west of the Mississippi, west of the Mississippi, and it's not a big stadium, but it's the best stadium out west, Autzen Stadium in Eugene, Oregon, is an absolute zoo. It is just incredible. No getting around it. Touchdown Jesus in Notre Dame is fine. It's in my top 10. But the most underrated, in my view, stadium in college football is Camp Randall in Wisconsin. I think Madison, when they play jump around to start the fourth quarter,
yes.
Oh my God. And to think that Camp Randall was once part of, a war. It was where we kept prisoners. They kept prisoners there. And the history and the tradition of Camp Randall Stadium is off the charts. So that would be the group of stadiums that I jump out with you.
Okay, there's your group of 6. I like that. Tim Brando on tonight. College basketball, college football. He just re-upped. He's going to be on Fox, and he's here on the Nate Brown Show, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. I hope to do it again, Tim. Thanks for hopping in. Thanks a lot.
I'd be happy to do it. Yeah, whether you like me or not, I'm around for 3 more years, so deal with it.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Great broadcaster. Tim Brando, see you. Thanks a lot. Fox Sports, college football, college basketball. Just off the golf course and on the Nate Brown Show with passion, I would say. Well, I wasn't expecting that. We were rolling. How many questions did I get in? Is he a broadcaster? It was like 3 questions? Normally I got to fill time, Tim. Thanks a lot. I took that 20 minutes off. Gary Sharp's in from Omaha next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Want to do more of what you love and earn cash back doing it? With a Visa Cashback credit card from Black Hills Federal Credit Union, it's possible. Earn 1.5% cash back on everyday purchases like gas and groceries, and use it to fund your shoe obsession, vinyl collection, or airline upgrade. Plus, spend $2,000 in your first 90 days and get a $200 cashback bonus. Learn more at bhfcu.com/cashback. Offer subject to credit approval. Other restrictions apply.
Sagging, bouncing, or uneven floors? Call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Standing water or high humidity, nasty odors, or dangerous mold? Call Blackburn. Critters, bugs, or other pests? That's right. Call Blackburn. It's a fact. Crawl space problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Call Blackburn Foundation Repair today.
No one comes close to the selection of beer, wine, and spirits you'll find at your Mr. Liquor stores in Rapid City. This month's specials include select Basil Hayden Bourbon at $10 off. Save $6 off the big 175-liter of Fireball, now only $23.99. Price is good at both Mr. Liquor stores in Rapid City. Off Catron next to Walmart, or the original Mr. Liquor on the corner of West Chicago and Sturgis Road in Rapid City. Plus, follow Mr. Liquor on Facebook for in-store events, allocated bourbon drops, and exclusive in-store barrel picks.
At Connect Home Center, they've been a part of the Mead Lumber family since 2000. Now, they're bringing everything together under one trusted name, Mead Lumber. Don't worry, your favorite team, great service, and high-quality products aren't going anywhere. Connect Home Center is becoming Mead Lumber. Same people, same service, just a new name. From design to finish, here for you every step of the way. Check them out at meadlumber.com.
Take your Deadwood stay to the next level at Tin Lizzie Gaming Resort. Choose Hampton by Hilton or 4 Points by Sheridan, both just steps from the Main Street action. Then play in our 24/7 casino, bet every buzzer beater at the BetMGM Sportsbook, and taste your way through 6 unique dining options. With non-stop events, next-level casino promotions, and everything under one roof on historic Main Street, plan your getaway at tinlizzie.com, where your getaway goes to the next level.
We all know life's busy, and if you get sick, you can get behind pretty quick. That's where Black Hills Urgent Care comes in. No appointments needed, no long waits, just fast, affordable care to get you feeling better quicker. Black Hills Urgent Care has 2 locations in Rapid City on Haynes Avenue and Mountain View Road. You can simply check in online at bhucare.com. That's with the letter U, bhucare.com. When you need care, see the team at Black Hills Urgent Care, the faster way to get better.
Hi, this is Jeremy with Jerry's Cakes and Donuts, inviting you to kickstart your morning by dropping by and grabbing some fresh donuts. I want to thank you for voting us the best in the Black Hills. We're up early making your favorite donuts, so stop by and bring some to the office. Everybody loves Jerry's Cakes and Donuts, and we love you, so stop by, get a great selection to brighten up your day. Serving Rapid City for over 40 years, Jerry's Cakes and Donuts at 109 East Omaha, and remember to like Jerry's on Facebook for some great giveaways.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
All right, welcome back in. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live on Fox Sports Radio. Our affiliates are Fox Sports Rapid City and KWSN Fox Sports Sioux Falls. Thanks for being here. Wow, that was a good start to the program. Tim Brando live. I think we could have done all 2 hours. You guys think me and Rob Cagron shoot it around a little bit in the second hour. Tim Brando would have kept rolling tonight. I mean, I couldn't believe it. Passion from the legendary broadcaster tonight on college football. The 2014 playoff, he says, is a guarantee. Well, let's go to Gary Sharp, Big Ten country, Nebraska. Omaha sports broadcaster, play-by-play for Omaha. Gary Sharp back on the Nate Brown Show. Gary, how are you?
Good, Nate. Yeah, Timmy B, he's a great guest, and he is very passionate about that particular sport. Well, college football and college basketball, that was enjoyable to hear him.
Yeah, he was ready to go tonight, so you got some shoes to fill, man. I know you can do it. I mean, you can bring it, but by the way, he said the 2014 playoff is a guarantee. Now, Big Ten's on board. They came up with it. Big 12 said yes. ACC says yes. Greg Sankey and the SEC, I guess, are just going to have to say yes. What do you say?
Well, I don't think they have to say yes. So you have the most powerful man in college athletics is 50% of that vote. And that just shows you the power of the SEC. They've been the ones that have been staunch with their partner ESPN to be against expanding beyond 16. Their league meetings are in 2 weeks, and I'll be interested to hear what comes out of Florida in terms of the tone of have they changed their opinion? Are they going to jump to 24? But I think right now they're sticking at 16, but it's going to be a butting of heads. This could be where we get the ultimate Big Ten versus SEC showdown. And, the Big Ten is putting up championships in the most important sports, and we're going to see what the SEC does. I wouldn't say guaranteed, but wait 2 weeks and see what comes out of the SEC meetings and if their tone changes. If it doesn't, I don't see how we get to 24.
Okay, very interesting. Now, here's how I see this. This is a TV money thing, right? This is ESPN owns the entire thing, and I was seeing reporting on this. If it goes past 14, then it like opens up. There's other bidders that can come in. So is Greg Sankey and the SEC just trying to hold firm with their TV partner? Is that a big part of this? Do you believe?
Yeah, because if you go past 14, if you go past 16. Then you bring another network in, and of course that network is Fox, which currently has the Big Ten as their number one partner. So I think that's part of the let's stand in the way of this. And you know what? I wish they would do this. And you and I have had this discussion before, just like they do in the NFL. They spread out the playoff games, and one particular network gets the Super Bowl, and then they rotate. And I'd love to see them do that with college football because the narrative is shaped so much by TV partners. Instead of talking about the sport as a whole, sometimes we're like, I'm a Big Ten Fox guy. I'm going against the SEC, ESPN. How about we spread it across the board and we talk about the great sport in general instead of choosing sides? But that's exactly, Nate, what it is for SEC is they're working with ESPN. ESPN doesn't want to lose control of the full playoff.
I think that's it. I mean, it really is. And Tim Brando, obviously a Fox Sports play-by-play man, he said, no, this is going to go to 24, and he thinks Fox is going to get in on that action. I think that's all part of the deal. So here's what Mike Greenberg said, and I want your take on it because I think Tim Brando poo-pooed it. He said, no way. But I'm thinking about this. Ohio State, Michigan, they play the last game. Let's say they're both in the playoff easy, right? If it's 24, they're both in. Then they got 5 playoff games ahead of them, Gary. So Mike Greenberg said, is there a world where they rest their starters for Ohio State, Michigan because they want to win the championship instead?
Well, I don't think that game means too much to too many people. And most particular, the people that are involved in playing the game, I don't think they would rest their starters. The calendar of football is going to be different. It's going to start earlier. We're already going to see that next year. We're moving towards getting rid of conference championship games. But in that scenario, I think that's ridiculous. Michigan, Ohio State, that means so much to those people, that fan base, those players, that they would never pull something like that.
Gary Sharp on tonight from Omaha. Find him on X at Gary Sharp _ new handle there, Gary Sharp _ find him and follow him. He's here on the Nate Brown Show. Let's talk Huskers here. So reporting showing that the Husker football team has $29 million for this season. $29 million. Ohio State's reportedly at 45 plus. Michigan's in there. Is $29 million going to work for Matt Rule?
Well, I hate these discussions, Nate, because there's no transparency. You could make a number up and just throw it out there. Nobody knows if 29 or 45 is truthful. At the end of the day, like from Nebraska's perspective, when you are back-to-back 7-win seasons, and I've said this in a lot of different places, the Nebraska football program's in a better place than it was when Frost was here. But they're not as good as they need to be. So you've got that gap. But I hate when they start talking about money, which is reality, in a state that only has $1.9 million and you don't have the Mark Cubans walking around. Warren Buffett is not dropping money on the Nebraska football program. It looks at like a whiny excuse, especially when you're losing to Iowa and Minnesota, which their budgets are much smaller. I think if you win, the dollars will come, and especially with Nebraska. I know they're a little bit limited. They've gotten beat out on a couple of linemen that they really wanted. But at the end of the day, if you win, if you find a way to win, then you can get that extra cash that's going to come your way. So in this state and the vibe around Nebraska football, it's very tenuous right now because people look at that as an excuse when you haven't beaten Iowa and Minnesota. You can use it as an excuse or reality when you have beaten those teams that are with you or below you and you're chasing Oregon and Ohio State.
Okay, speaking of NIL, what's Nebraska doing here they're going to pay Matt Rule an extra $5 million this year for his NIL for podcast rights. He has this YouTube show, House Rules, and they're going to pay him $5 million on top of his salary to his LLC for merchandise, NIL, podcast rights. That seemed I haven't seen that done before. What do you make of it?
Well, it has. It is quietly in a couple of different contracts of football coaches.
Okay.
Where it's a common thing, but people don't dig deep enough. But it's Nebraska, and there's a lot of angst around Rule going into year 4. That comes out, and people lose their mind. It's kind of the way they did his new contract extension to spread things out, and they buy his, name, image, likeness, basically, which most schools do. But in this case, it's just people are really frustrated, and they don't know what is going to happen this year, and they're frustrated with Rule. And so this is, reported by Sam McEwen, who did some deep digging into the contract, and people lose their mind. But it is commonplace. When you're 10-17 in the Big Ten, and you're 2-10 in the month of November in your tenure, people lose their mind.
Is it this, Gary? I know what's like the radio appearances, the TV appearances. This was back in the day with coaches. Is that what this is, basically? I mean, coaches have always been paid for, like, media stuff. Is that what this is, basically?
Yes, and then the add-on of his podcast and those other things that he does.
Okay.
So it just is. It has a different phrase to it than most, but you're absolutely right. Coaches have that in their contracts of TV appearances, the radio show appearances, so on and so forth.
Yes. Okay, that's interesting. Well, an extra $5 million for Matt Rule. He's going to be $13 million this season. That'll be interesting. Gary Sharp's on tonight from Omaha. Hey, let's get your read. You cover baseball, softball. You're in this. Husker Regional. They're playing USD tomorrow. So there's a huge crowd, I guess. Ticket sales have been a controversy. Is that a legitimate story where this regional in Lincoln, the hardest ticket to get?
Yeah, it's I feel for the Yotes fans, and they got, South Dakota got 100 tickets. It's the most expensive regional, and a lot of it has to do with Nebraska hasn't hosted at Bowlin Stadium, and they've got a legitimate chance to go to Oklahoma City and win a national championship. So the attention. It's something that's been in place, the way they do their tickets with the donor points, that has been in play for volleyball, and it creates a little bit of a stir on volleyball. It's a lot more because it hasn't happened in softball, and it's a smaller venue, but it's a tough ticket. It is, the thing that was unfortunate is our players' families that could not get tickets, and there's going to be people that are not softball fans that are going to go to games just because they have the option because of their donation when it comes to football tickets. But it's going to be a great atmosphere tomorrow. People they're going to pack the place. They pack the place all season long. But it rattles some people here because the people that have been going to softball were going when they were playing in March and it was 40 degrees. And why are they being moved out of the stadium when the most important games of the year are being played?
Yeah, I've heard the resale market's just out of control. So the controversy was some people got tickets and then they were able to resell them on the secondary market for a lot of money for this Husker Yotes game tomorrow. So USD wins the Summit League for the first time ever in softball, and they play a hot Nebraska team that has national championship aspirations tomorrow. Gary Sharp's in it, Omaha sports broadcaster. Gary, I look forward to having you again, man. Good luck. Thanks a lot.
Hey, thanks, Nate, and safe travels here to the Big O this weekend.
I love it. I'm on my way. I'm going to Omaha. Can I connect with Gary Sharp? Do I buy Gary Sharp lunch? I think so. We're going to have some time, Gary. I might have to buy you lunch for all these fees that you haven't charged me over the years. All right. Tim Brando didn't even charge me a fee tonight. I mean, we're good. We're good tonight. 5 questions from Chris. We got to get these in before happy hour starts. Man, the show's just getting started. I've got 5 questions from our loyal listener, Chris, coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people, from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
It's time for an upgrade, and don't spend a dime for 2 years. That's right, 0 zip zilch with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 24 months. That's May 2028. Say goodbye to drafts and outdated design, and hello to our acclaimed replacement windows and our stunning ensemble entry doors. Get energy-efficient windows and doors and beautiful upgrades with zero regrets. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute, and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on, and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
There are 1 billion credit card transactions around the world every day. That's 11,698 swipes a second. It's easy to forget that behind each one, there's a person, a family, a dream, a connection being made. The Black Hills Federal Credit Union Visa, for members who want to make the most of every transaction.
Big-time interviews and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown.
Welcome back in. Your sports, your show, The Nate Brown Show on, and thanks for making this show possible, guys. We appreciate you. You listening makes a difference to the live show on Fox Sports Radio. Please download our podcast, listen there, rate us, review, all that stuff. Apple, Spotify, Amazon. If you miss some of the live show every afternoon drive here on Fox Sports Radio, go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. We appreciate you doing that on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, SoundCloud, wherever you get your podcast. Search the Nate Brown Show. And if you missed Tim Brando tonight, like we don't play back guests or playback segments or talk about the same thing over and over. We try to give you new stuff each time out. We know you can't listen to all 2 hours sometimes, so go to the podcast. You can hear Tim Brando. You can hear Josh Fenton yesterday, Summit League commissioner. He was really good on the expansion of the men's tournament. Tim Brando talked the expansion of college football playoffs. So the Nate Brown Show podcast, available where you get your podcast. Just search for us and you've got us. Okay, are we ready? Thursday happy hour is coming up. Rob Kegron's getting ready to go. We'll have a full hour with Rob Kegron coming up. But first, we got to get this in today.
It's time for 5 questions from Chris on the Nate Brown Show.
Chris, what's going on, man? Are we ready? Let's do this. 5 questions from our loyal listener to the Nate Brown Show. Chris, the famous Chris. Question number 1. Nate, last week I asked you if the NBA should bring back hand checking to encourage better defense. Let's try something different today. Should the NBA start enforcing the carrying palming rules for the dribbler to help restore balance between offense and defense in the NBA? No. Again, Chris. If you've watched some of the playoffs, they're playing D. Okay? I understand the defense in the regular season, iffy at best. This NBA is very, very good. They try to play defense. You can't sit in the key, so that's one thing. They have that rule. You got to spread them out, and so it is a lot of offense. It's a lot of three-point shooting. The carrying, palming, and stuff. I do not want to see a palming call on Anthony Edwards. I don't want to see a carrying call on Anthony Edwards unless it's egregious. So, no. Keep it how it is. We're good, Chris. We're good. No carrying violations unless it's terrible. All right, question number 2. The Oklahoma City Thunder eliminated the Lakers. Now the big question is, what happens for LeBron James? Where do you think LeBron should go, Nate? Oh, this is a good one. Good one. Where do I think he should go? Where I think he should go, I'm not sure he will go, but I'm going to say what would be most interesting, not the Cleveland homecoming. I don't care. We don't want to watch the Cleveland Cavaliers. Sorry. I've been to Cleveland once. Nice place. It's okay. I don't care about the Cleveland Cavaliers. So where I want LeBron to go for the interest of next season, Golden State. Wouldn't that be something? LeBron, Steph, Draymond. That would be something. Please make it happen. LeBron to Golden State. I would love to watch that. Just for the interesting piece. Interesting is what I want, Chris. Question number 3. Shohei Ohtani is going through an offensive slump, batting .233, .404 slugging percentage. Cal Raleigh had a terrible slump as well. The American League catcher for the Mariners, he was 0 for 36 until he broke his streak. Which player is going to get hot and turn their season around, or will they both struggle the rest of the year? Here's what I'm going to tell you, Chris, okay? Cal Raleigh had an unbelievable season, MVP caliber last year. Not so much this year. Shohei Ohtani is generational. He is a great pitcher, but he can hit too. If I'm betting who has a good year after the slumps, Shohei Ohtani will bounce back. I don't know if Cal Raleigh is who we think he is. I really don't, Chris. I'm serious. So Shohei Ohtani will bounce back between those two guys. At least the big dumper Cal Raleigh got off the schneid. Question number 4. Nate, as the unofficial public relations director for the South Dakota Broncos fan club. Wow, hey, thank you. You just gave me that title. What do you think of the Vikings helping to launch girls flag football in Sioux Falls? You think the Broncos should do it in Rapid City? Oh, no doubt. I would love for the Broncos to, but somebody's got to take the bull by the horns, Chris. Somebody's got to get after this thing. I don't know how it all came together with the Vikings and the Sioux Falls School District Community Learning Centers, but there's a partnership, and you got to have some people, at the table, and you got to work on this. So, Rapid City sports, you've got to look. Hey, you want the Broncos to come in, pay for some stuff, get coaches, get all that stuff. Might make it happen. Do I think girls flag football would be popular here? I do. I'm one of the guys that thinks that. I wasn't so sure a few years ago, I'm honest. But the more I've talked to girls, the more I've seen them sign up for stuff in football. The girls flag football will be popular if you do it well and get them signed up. Question number 5. The Kentucky Derby winning horse Golden Temple will not be running in the Preakness this weekend. To help restore excitement and national interest in the Triple Crown, do you think racing officials should space out the 3 big races, the Derby, the Preakness, and the Belmont, about a month apart? I actually do, Chris, so I like horse racing. I understand there's history, like really unbelievable history, where The horse racing people are not going to space those out. They're going to say, if you're going to do this, you're going to do it like Secretary and all these guys. Golden Pharaoh, but I think you would still enjoy these races a lot. I know the horse racing people will never, ever do it, so that's why it won't happen. But it would not make a difference to me if the Preakness was a month later than the Derby and the Belmont a month later than the Preakness. Would not make a difference to me at all. But I'm not a horse trainer. I'm not a horse owner. I'm not in the horse racing business. They want tradition. They will keep it like this, even though the horses now, a lot of them don't do the Triple Crown anymore. 5 questions from Chris. Book it. Rob Kegron's in. It's a Thursday happy hour. A lot to discuss next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Could there be a better name? Auto Value Parts Stores. They aren't just about air fresheners or fuzzy dice. Auto Value Parts Stores are all about parts, auto parts, and advice. Pros who know auto parts with tons of tips when you need them the most. You want real value? Don't go to a place with a cute name. Go to Auto Value. Could there be a better name? I didn't think so. Your Auto Value Parts Store. We've got the parts, we've got the smarts.
If you think all shoe stores are the same, you haven't walked into Trav's Outfitter. We have the biggest selection of footwear anywhere. In fact, we dare you to compare. At Trav's, you don't have to sell yourself a pair of shoes. Our team helps you find the right fit for your lifestyle. We may be the newest name on the block in Rapid, but we've been in this game for over 40 years. Come find us in the old Kmart building. Trav's Outfitter, best selection, best service, no BS.
Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines, supporting our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to wait. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. The life of an athlete has its uncertainties, wins and losses, injury and recovery. In the Black Hills area, athletes can always count on Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Hi, I'm Tim Wrench, and I'm seeking personal injury cases. If you've been injured because someone else did something wrong, call me up. I'm a trial lawyer. I've tried criminal and civil cases for decades, and I can use all of that experience to help you. I also know this, that when insurance companies know that you're represented by a trial lawyer, they take your claim more seriously, and if it is to be settled, it's settled better with a trial lawyer. Wrench Law, 605-341-1111, wrenchlaw.com.
Hanging with Brian from Anytime Auto Sales. I see new models of stand-up and teardrop campers on your lot.
Yes, you do. We're proud to feature the new SGC Armor line of campers from Bontrager Outdoors. Bang for the buck, there's just nothing out there like these new super cool Armor campers and Bontrager teardrops.
And the suspension these campers have? Wow, so impressive.
All our campers come standard with the off-road package. Bontrager and Armor just ramped boondocking up another notch. And right now, you'll get the best price all year on these 2026 ultra-light, ultra-beefy, option-loaded campers and teardrops.
You gotta check out these new look campers, people. The new designs are fantastic, and so many options for their size.
And so many options for towing. No need for a diesel or a big truck. These only weigh around 1,500 to 2,000 pounds, so they can be towed by almost any rig.
Check out these new 2026 Bontrager and SGC Armor campers, everyone. See AnytimeAnytime.com, and as always, at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales.
One more time. This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, we're ready on a Thursday. Are you ready? Well, you are. I hope you're ready to go on a Thursday happy hour. The Nate Brown Show is on tonight. It is Thursday happy hour with Rob Kagron live in studio. We're going to finish strong with Rob. Glad you're here. Fox Sports Radio, our affiliates KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls, and Fox Sports Rapid City. First start of the show here was wild. It was passionate. It was on target with Tim Brando, legendary broadcaster from Fox Sports. He just re-upped a deal with Fox. He's back. College football, college basketball announcer. He's had a great career. First time on the show, and he just went, man. And I said to everybody, Rob, I said, they think you and I get going? I mean, I could have let Tim Brando go for 2 hours.
Absolutely, Nate. First of all, just to let people in on kind of the back of how we do, at least the couple of days a week that I come in, generally, you give me topics, right? A number of topics that we may or may not get to during the hour when we're doing a segment together. And occasionally you throw something, curveball at me here and there. But we don't talk about what we're going to say, right? You have no idea my take. I don't know your take. And as a matter of habit, not because I don't love you, I generally do not listen to the first hour of the show on Mondays and Thursdays because I don't really want to know your take on any number of issues. It just makes radio fresh, right? So that's how we both have been radio a long time. It's what makes for good radio. But I do follow you and the show and Kearney on Twitter, and I did see that, and I follow Tim Brando on Twitter and on Instagram, and I saw that Brando was going to be on. I'm like, my gosh, Tim Brando. First of all, great job by booking you and Kearney. Booking Brando is excellent, right? And I think Brando is a refreshing voice and face in sports media because he's not afraid to say what he's thinking.
Wow.
He really is. I mean, Brando is, first of all, he's a great broadcaster. He's an underrated broadcaster in terms of his pipes, in terms of his delivery, both in basketball and in football. But on top of that all, he just is willing to say whatever he's thinking on the air. And for him to come on to South Dakota Sports Radio and just give unvarnished, strong, direct opinions, I loved it. I couldn't get enough of it.
And by the way, he wasn't bored. He wasn't, you get some of these guys, you've done these interviews, they're like, all right, I'll give you 10 minutes. And I mean, he could have kept going. I had to say, hey, Tim, we got to kind of move on. Good stuff. If you missed it, Nate Brown Show podcast, it'll be there. Tim Brando on tonight to start the show. Let's get into happy hour with Rob Kagron tonight. So I'm not going to go through every single game, although I do have your Giants schedule already. I do have it. And I don't really care about it. But anyway, I do have the Giants schedule. I am going to start with something that people want to know what the schedule looks like. We know who we're going to play. But I think NFL fans tonight say, well, then I know if I'm going to go to a game. Where are we at? What date? Is it Thursday? Is Sunday? Monday Night Football? What is it? So that all happens tonight. 6 o'clock Mountain Time, 7 Central. But it's been leaked out, and there's all sorts of schedules that are already out. Here's one thing that I note. 9 international games. Now, I said, I had lunch with a guy today. He's a Rams fan, big Rams fan. And I said, what do you think? Rams, 49ers, Thursday Night Football, first week, one of the first games out of the gate in Australia. And he goes, I'm just tired of that. So are fans tired? It's the record number 9 international games. Do fans care?
Well, they don't care that the game is international. I will say that. But they're not tired of it either, right? I know that
they're not?
That will sound like opposite opinions. Fans love football. It's bigger than it's ever been. It's bigger than when you and I were young. It will keep I don't see it going down anytime soon. It will keep getting bigger. And the fact of the matter is, the international games are separate windows, right? Whether they be like this one on Thursday night, the second game of the season, or on a Sunday morning, where it starts here in Rapid City at 7:30 or 8:30 in Sioux Falls. You come home or you wake up in the morning and you are watching football, right? Before the normal slate of games start.
You sound like you're excited about it.
I'm not excited. I don't like the fact that they're playing internationally because I don't think it matters, right? As someone who's lived in Europe for 5 years.
Yes, you said this.
I'm not talking as some guy who just has an opinion. I lived in, and granted it was a bit ago, the Europeans don't care about NFL football.
Maybe they do more now.
A little, but marginally, right? Like, we care more about soccer as Americans than they ever will care about football in Europe. They just are never going to care that much. And if you watch those games, if you pay attention, what's the big part of those stadiums? It's people traveling from the States to have an interesting experience.
It is.
They're going to go see a city. They're going to go see their team in an international place. Yes, they're getting locals, of course. But the idea that the fan base is now in France, they're having one this year, or going back to Spain, or England, of course, as always, or Germany, they don't care that much. It becomes more of a show and a spectacle than it is, wow, serious fans are paying attention to American football in Germany and France and Spain.
Is it wrong for... I think it's wrong. You can tell me. Rams 49ers, that's a huge game, first game of the year, and those fans don't get to watch it. I'm talking Rams 49ers. That's a big one.
Well, part of this is because we've moved to 9 games, right, Nate? 9 home every other year. Your team has 9 home games. And so they're basically sacrificing that extra home game, and they're creating a trend that when we have even more international games, because it's not getting reduced. We have 9 this year. There'll be more the following year.
Be more.
Eventually, whoever has the 9th game, that game is going to be an international game or a neutral site or something where you're still going to get 8 home games. If you're a Broncos season ticket holder, a Viking season ticket holder, you're going to get 8 home games every single year. But that 9th game is not going to be yours. That's going to go somewhere else.
So they're trying to reach the goal of every team has an international game.
That's the goal. They've made that clear. I mean, Goodell has made that clear that that's what they would like to see. How they do that logistically, particularly late in the season, to me, the biggest issue I have with it is not the fact that they're playing in places where nobody cares or that there are separate windows or that they're streamed. It's that I think particularly when you're going to start doing these games later in the year, I think it creates a competitive imbalance for those teams to have to go. And I know they travel in style, don't get me wrong, but they are big boys, right? Going to get on a plane, it's not just about the seat, right? Whether they have a flatbed seat or not, and most of them, of course, would. It's about the fact that if you travel internationally a lot, and I have done it for a big part of my adult life, it takes something out of you.
Yeah.
And I'm not playing a physical sport for 3 hours in the trenches, right? I'm just going to do work. It will absolutely take a lot out of these guys. And towards the end of the season, when everything is under a microscope and everything matters more, to send 2 teams who are competing for playoff spots to Munich, Germany, to play in front of basically their fans who are traveling there to see them play in a different locale, I think it's a huge competitive imbalance and a big mistake, all for the sake of growing the football game. Who cares? It's an American game and always will be.
I believe that. I don't like it. I just think it's too much now, but it's going to get worse. I was okay with a few. Now it's up to 9, and then it's going to go even more. And I do think the fans, I know that, well, you get 8 games. You get it. That's what we've always said. You get 8 games. I still think it's wrong, especially an opener. 49ers, Rams, that's a big NFC West matchup. And it's going to be in Australia on Thursday. So I've got a few things on the schedule. 3 demerits. First one's Wednesday night. They're going, let's do this show, I guess, Wednesday. So you mark that up, okay? You're never available Wednesday, but you're going to be there Wednesday. We'll be there at the Sportsbook. Wednesday for Seahawks-Patriots. Did we have to do a rematch of the game we just watched?
Well, here, the only reason to do a rematch of one of those games, and it's happened a few times in these openers, the only reason to do it is if it was a classic game, right? If we had a classic Super Bowl, came down to the wire, wasn't sure who was going to win, a great football game, I wouldn't mind it so much, seeing them, face off each other right away from the beginning of the season. It was one of the worst Super Bowls we've ever seen. Right? You and I mean, we're radio people, right? Think about how many days could you get of really talking about that Super Bowl. People were bored with it while the game was still going on.
It was a grinder.
Nobody wants to talk about it. Now we're going to go play it again on Wednesday night of the opening night of the season?
I thought that was a miss.
Terrible miss. No reason to put them on right out of the gate. And there were other matchups where you could have done. I thought the Bears would have made the most sense, right?
Bears.
Bears coming up, right? Obviously, you got Ben Johnson there, and you got the court Caleb Williams there. You got some storylines there, and the Bears are I don't know what they're going to be this year, but I certainly think they're going to be similar to what they were last year. They're not going to regress, I don't think, a ton. I think that's an interesting storyline. Going to have the Patriots fly all the way out to Seattle to play a team that the last time they played, they didn't even belong on the same field, I think is a huge miss. I agree with you.
I thought that was a miss. I think the Australian game Thursday now, 49ers-Rams, is a miss, I guess. I said, do fans care? 71% on Twitter. The Twitter polls are kind of messed up, but 71% say they hate that many international games. 29% say it doesn't matter. In the long run, you say fans here, ultimately it doesn't matter. Ultimately
it doesn't, because if you're a huge football fan, whether it be because your team is playing in the international game, whether it be because you're gambling on the game, or whether it be because you have fantasy implications, and there are a lot of people, that's what football has become, right? I mean, you and I grew up in an era where you rooted for your team and only your team. You talk to young people who listen to this show, young people I've talked to, what do they care about first and foremost when it comes to football? Fantasy implications. They care about their team. And so if their guys are playing at 7:30 or 8:30 in the morning in Munich, Germany, or in London, England, they're going to pay attention and watch those games for those implications. So in the end, do I think people is anybody jumping up and down, hey, we got another game at 7:30 in the morning on Sunday from Munich, Germany? No, nobody cares, but they care about football. They care about an extra window of football to watch on that Sunday morning.
Listener text coming in. You can text the show. It's Happy Hour with Rob Kagron here on the Nate Brown Show. 605-720-1067 is our number, the text line. Listener text, those early morning international games, I never watch them. Can't train my brain to get up that early for the NFL. Want to watch the Packers.
And I get it. For some people, they're only going to watch their team. But for the football fan who's watching more than just a team, yeah, maybe you're not watching the first half of that game. I get it's early. People go to church. They go to breakfast, whatever it may be. But by halftime, right, by the second half of that game, leading up until the early window of games in football, you're telling me you're not turning on that second half of the game?
I have been. Have you watched every 7:30 game? Have you watched it from start to finish?
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, there are some of those Jags games, particularly when they were terrible, even tough for me, who can be a bit of a, I don't want to say the word, but degenerate, yes, and who would bet on the games. I can't even watch all of them. But am I watching the majority of them? Yes. Am I watching almost all of them for at least the second half? Yes.
Well,
just not from kickoff to the end of the game.
I understand. I thought you might miss them on that Sunday morning because of your Saturday night episode.
I'm an adult. I'm a professional. I can get up in the morning no matter how late I stay out on Saturday night.
Dinner parties, just
of course,
like
very
that.
wholesome thing.
It's all good. The Nate Brown Show is on. I do want to get into the holidays. So there is some stuff to talk about with the holidays, and I hope you love your family because you're really going to have to tell them something coming up for Thanksgiving and Christmas next.
This is South Dakota's Sports.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
It's time for an upgrade, and don't spend a dime for 2 years. That's right, 0 zip zilch with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 24 months. That's May 2028. Say goodbye to drafts and outdated design, and hello to our acclaimed replacement windows and our stunning ensemble entry doors. Get energy-efficient windows and doors and beautiful upgrades with zero regrets. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
There are 1 billion credit card transactions around the world every day. That's 11,698 swipes a second. It's easy to forget that behind each one, there's a person, a family, a dream, a connection being made. The Black Hills Federal Credit Union Visa, for members who want to make the most of every transaction.
Streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
All right, welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show on tonight, Fox Sports Radio. Our coverage from high school to college to the pros. We got you covered. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live. Wrapping up the week with Thursday happy hour and Rob Kegron live in studio. NFL schedule release, kind of the big news of the day. The schedules come out here in a half an hour. You look at this, you say, a lot of this stuff has already come out, especially the holiday stuff. So they put this holiday stuff out because they want to get you juiced and ready. I do have to say, Rob, you might want to say nice things right away in the morning to your family. Say, hey, everybody have a great day. See ya for Thanksgiving. The best Thanksgiving slate? Normally there's a bad team playing, the Lions, or the Lions have been terrible. Is this the best Thanksgiving slate? Just on paper, you've got Packers, Rams Wednesday. That's the eve. That's Netflix. Have fun. Packers, Rams. Bears, Lions Thanksgiving morning. Eagles, Cowboys, Thanksgiving prime afternoon. Chiefs, Bills, Thanksgiving night. And then let's go to Black Friday. My Broncos are at the Steelers. Is that the best Thanksgiving slate? Can you think of that?
I can't think of one that's been better in a very long time. I mean, I want to say it's either 7 or 8 of those 10 teams that are playing in those 5 windows were in the playoffs last year. That does not usually happen, right? I mean, and think about Chiefs-Bills. Like, think about all the classic Chiefs-Bills games we've had over the last 5 or 6 years with Allen Mahomes, and that they gave that game to because sometimes, I will say this, as someone, you and I both watch so much football. Thanksgiving, I get it, like, obviously family time. I watch all the games. I'm being completely honest, right? But sometimes that night game, right, particularly if I go back home to New York on the East Coast, that game doesn't start till like 8:30. I'm a little tired already. I've been, the turkey,
grinding.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Turkey makes you a little tired.
Okay.
Probably had some extra too much wine. And, sometimes that game can be great. Sometimes it's a dud.
Yeah, not great.
Chiefs, Bills. I mean, I'm going to be drinking espresso at 7:45 at night, getting ready for that Thursday night game. And when you look at you're right. When those 5 Packers Rams, it's a great game. Chiefs, Bills, Eagles, Cowboys, a great divisional rivalry game. Lions, Bears, great rivalry game.
Yes.
Then you throw in Denver, who was in the AFC Championship last year, at Aaron Rodgers on Friday afternoon.
Yes.
It's like, Sorry, you're right, family. I'm not going to be able to chat much. I mean, I'm going to be watching football.
So Thanksgiving, I will say that slate looks really, really good. Now, we got a listener text coming in. Listener text, will Rob be plugged in also on Thanksgiving Eve now? In my opinion, it's just too much football in those 3 days.
You know, the answer to the question, yes, I will absolutely be plugged in on Wednesday night. And I think the Wednesday night you don't have to worry about, right? Because that game, you know, I know people get together sometimes the night before Thanksgiving for sure, but you're not tired out of Thanksgiving football on Wednesday night. In fact, it's something new. It's like the appetizer, right? It's like the early appetizer. It's like cocktail hour before the main, you know, the main party. I'm going to be completely into Wednesday night. Thursday gets tricky, but I'll be honest, right? Like, I'm telling you, I'm going to be completely geared up for that night game. That I think this is going to be a little different year. I'd be surprised if I missed a play of football in those 3 days.
Wow.
I'd be surprised.
I like hosting Thanksgiving, okay? I like hosting because then I get away with, I have the TV on all day.
Yep.
So if I'm hosting, then I'm good. Nobody can really complain that much.
Yep.
When you go to somebody's house, I'm at here, I'm at there, you're at their will. You're going, are we going to watch all day? Are we just going to pop in? That morning one is the one I usually miss. Bears, Lions. I'm like, okay, day's kind of getting started. You got to get things cooking. You got to get things moving. I watch afternoon and now night. That's a great night matchup.
Having lived here in Rapid City now for 8 or 9 years, the morning one is actually a little bit easier for me because that game starts at 10:30.
Yes,
when you're on the East Coast, 12:30, a lot of times you're headed to someone's house already, you know, and you're trying to get yourself situated, and it can be a little tricky. Have you ever had this experience, though, Nate, where you go to someone's house and they're like, well, during the meal, like we turn the TV off. And it's happened to me a couple times. I'm like, excuse me, I'll be taking my meal and eating it in front of that television.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't get away with leaving the table that much. I don't get away with, and then they say, let's just turn it down.
And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, but the TV stays on, right? It's we don't always have to. I don't watch TV normally when I eat dinner, right? But for Thanksgiving, there are exceptions, and this year for sure.
How about Christmas? So the Thanksgiving games are great. Here's Christmas. This is Christmas Eve. Eagles hosting the Texans. Pretty good. That's Christmas Eve. Then the triple header, Christmas. This is the Netflix package. Bears, Packers, Broncos, Bills, Seahawks, Rams. So we're talking, man, I don't know what they're saying we're going to rack up these ratings and these streamers. We're going to make these partnerships count because those games, they put some of the best games on Christmas as well.
Think about those 3 games on Christmas Eve. Okay.
It's all right.
Yeah,
Pretty
it's
good.
okay. You got Philly. The 3 games on Christmas are all playoff rematches. Did you notice that?
Yes.
Playoff rematches.
There you go.
I mean, that is incredible. Like, those are 3 excellent football games. I think Christmas sometimes can be a little bit easier than Thanksgiving, right? A lot of the stuff in Christmas happens in the morning. You can kind of get away with really plugging yourself right in front of the television and watching those games. And these are 3, at least on paper, 3 excellent football games.
I am disappointed. Why? My Broncos game, I choose one Broncos game to go to every year. Sometimes if I can get away with it 2, but one for sure. Which one was I going to go to?
You want to see
Bills.
Josh Allen.
I want to see Josh Allen.
Yep.
Christmas?
That's a tough sell for the family, huh?
Can I sell that?
That could be your gift, though. A big gift. You get a big gift. You take them down there for a few days. You have a couple of nice meals.
Can you do Christmas?
I mean, it's 2:30 in the afternoon, the Broncos game, right? So you go to the 2:30 game. You book yourself a nice restaurant for the family in the evening at 7:30.
You're a good seller.
That's a gift.
You're selling it.
That's the gift. Your kids wouldn't love that Christmas in
would.
Denver.
They would.
And I don't know. Would your wife?
Should you go? Well, I think so. I'll get back to you. Christmas Day games, would you go to it if it's the Giants?
No.
You're in New York.
No.
You wouldn't.
No, but you and I are a little bit different. Well, that's for sure. Getting to where the Giants play in MetLife Stadium is a real pain from where I grew up and where my family still lives. So that's a problem right there. Getting out of that stadium will be a complete disaster. I wouldn't go. But you and I are different. I've been to plenty of Broncos games, been to plenty of Giants games. On Christmas Day, I want to sit in front of that television and watch the games.
That's right.
I have zero interest.
I'm a big go-to-the-game guy. Bills, Broncos. Now, I just wish it wasn't Christmas. That might be my number one targeted game for the year, and now I got to try and figure out if we can do Christmas. Stay tuned. It's going to take a while for me to sell that one. Coming right back, let's have some fun with this on Happy Hour. So yesterday I was asked by a listener, who would you put on your USA flag football team? So it's going to be in the Olympics in 2 years. And so I came up with my team, and I thought, well, I'm going to get Rob Kagron to come up with his team, his top 5 players for flag football at the Olympics. We'll do it next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Sagging, bouncing, or uneven floors? Call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Standing water or high humidity? Nasty odors or dangerous mold? Call Blackburn. Critters, bugs, or other pests? That's right, call Blackburn. It's a fact. Crawl space problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Call Blackburn Foundation Repair today.
The following radio ad is Good Fun Squad approved.
My name is Jenny, and I'm the lady at the South Dakota Lottery who writes out those big checks for our winners. It's a lot of fun, but we've had so many big winners lately, my hand is tired. There was a $600,000 winner, a $2 million winner, a $4 million winner. That's a lot of zeros, and not normal zeros, big check zeros, and the winning never stops. That's why I'm learning to write with both hands.
Good fun.
Must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly.
The doctors and staff at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center have provided expert bone, joint, and muscle care to patients in the Black Hills area since 1976. Whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or just want to continue your active lifestyle, the orthopedic experts at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center will help you stay in the game. Don't let an injury keep you from doing the things you love. Trust the team at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you. Learn more at bhosc.com.
Trav's Outfitter might be the newest place on the block, but when it comes to ladies and kids' Western boots, our crew knows them like no one else. We're talking real experts helping you find the right fit and the right style. And when it comes to Western boots for kids and ladies, we dare you to compare. More styles, more sizes, one of the largest selections anywhere. Come see the people who know boots best. The old Kmart building, Trav's Outfitter, best selection, best service, no BS.
Calling all basketball teams, it's time to box out the competition. The Box Out Basketball Tournament's taking over the Box Elder Event Center May 29th through 31st. The tournament's open to 5th through 10th grade boys and girls with limited team spots available. Friday and Saturday feature pool play, leading to Sunday's bracket play for the win. Fast-paced games, big plays, unforgettable moments at the best facility. Register now at thebox.live.
Isn't it time for new windows and doors from Renewal by Andersen? With mortgage interest rates where they are right now, so many people are renovating their own homes rather than moving. And there's never been a better time to invest in awesome new windows and doors from Renewal by Andersen. Renewal by Andersen's legendary windows have been the best you can get for decades, but many people don't know that Renewal by Andersen also has incredible new ensemble entry doors and the entire Acclaim line of replacement windows, which are winning rave reviews from clients. Renewal by Andersen's windows, ensemble entry doors, and the entire Acclaim line of replacement windows will make your home so much more energy efficient on cold winter nights or hot summer days. Those new windows and doors will make your home so much more quiet and secure. We hear that all the time. Please visit RBARapidCity.com to schedule a free consultation. Be sure to ask about our great offers and really attractive financing options right now. Renewal by Andersen Windows and Entry Doors. Isn't it time?
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
All right, South Dakota Sports Talk Show live, Fox Sports Radio across the state, KWSN Sioux Falls, and Fox Sports Rapid City. The Nate Brown Show is on. Rob Kagron is in. We call it Thursday Happy Hour. If you missed parts of the show, good stuff this hour, great stuff as well in the first hour. Tim Brando was on, legendary broadcaster for Fox Sports, college football, college basketball, and he was excellent. Gary Sharp was great from Omaha, talking Huskers and more. Go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. It's available after we get done with the live show. So all of the shows are there this week and going back. So search The Nate Brown Show. If you miss any shows, you can listen on the road, on demand. You've got us on Apple, Spotify, Amazon. Search The Nate Brown Show. Okay, so I thought this was fun. Sioux Falls is going to launch a flag football league with the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings are coming in, and NFL teams have done this in markets. They come in, they want girls to get involved, and so the Vikings are teaming up with the Sioux Falls School District Community Learning Centers, and they want middle school girls and high school girls that maybe they aren't in a sport, maybe they're interested. They're going to launch a flag football league this fall. So I thought that was great. We got that press release on Monday. And so I was talking about that. I think it's going to be popular. We'll see where it goes. I hope the Broncos do something like that. They could come into Rapid City. You'd have the Vikings on one side, Broncos on the other. And a listener said, hey, speaking of flag football, it's going to be in the Olympics, and we knew that. Who would be your flag football team? And when it comes to the NFL players, they're going to let the NFL guys do it.
Yep.
And so then I thought, well, let's run through this. Let's see who is on the flag football team. And so I threw this out to you, so I wanted you to be prepared for this. Here are my players. Let's see if you have anybody that resembles them or any of the same players. So I told you got 5 players. This is how it's going to be. Flag football in the Olympics, 5-on-5, 50-yard field. You got to have a QB, and then you got to pick, I don't know, you can pick running backs, wide receivers. Somebody's going to snap it and go out for a pass. So I went this route. Josh Allen, QB1. Some people debated with me because he's physical and big and he should be in a contact thing. So I went Josh Allen barely. Lamar Jackson was my QB2, just so everybody's aware. Speaking of athleticism, speed, the whole thing. Josh Allen, QB1. Justin Jefferson, wide receiver 1. Jamar Chase, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. And I went with Bijan Robinson. So I threw in a back, good catching running back, and there's my starting 5. I think it's a little harder than you would think. I wonder if you chose the same guys I did.
So I did not, for quarterback, absolutely not. I chose Mahomes, right? To me,
oh my gosh.
And because
come on.
In flag football, it's about evading pressure, right? And who does that better than Mahomes? Allen, you're right, is a brute, but that's not flag football, right? He can't run through the other team, right? And in fact, they can't even
run pretty good anyway.
Yeah, but they can't run in the flag football, right? They can evade. They're not allowed to, have set QB runs. So I think Mahomes is a shoo-in for something like this with flag football. As much as I love Josh Allen, you know that I love rooting for him, but not in this particular thing. If I had a QB2, I kind of went back and forth between Jaden Daniels and Lamar Jackson. I probably would go with Lamar, to be quite honest. But to me, it's Mahomes. And then the first 2 guys you mentioned, I absolutely took. I took Jefferson and Jamar Chase.
You did.
100%.
Those are the 2 best receivers in the league?
Yeah, hard to say right now. And I get JSN. He's certainly had an incredible season last year. I went in a different path after that. So I agree with you wholeheartedly on Jefferson and Chase. After that, I really struggled. First of all, I wanted to take a running back because I agreed, with your premise. Like you took Bijan. I didn't take him. But I think it's important to get a guy who can come out of that backfield, catch the ball and really run with the ball after the catch. And so I took Detroit Lions' Jahmyr Gibbs.
That was one, too. I thought about him.
And I don't have any problem with you taking Bijan Robinson. I think he's a great choice as well. And then I really struggled, right? Because there were 2 guys that I went back and forth with. And it's not like I said, I think JSN is great. And I struggled going back and forth with these 2. But one guy, he just always catches the ball, and so I took Puka Nacua.
You did?
Absolutely, because he runs great routes. And the other guy I struggled with was Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah,
another guy who runs great routes, catches the ball all the time.
Yep.
Very. And I think in a flag football situation, either of them would be great.
CeeDee Lamb, I had him on my bench. I got CeeDee Lamb on my bench.
CeeDee once in a while drops the ball and did those deep passes, and Puka always finds a way to catch a ball, right? He has so many catches, runs great routes.
But he's physical. That's the thing. Is he a guy in a flag football like Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase can get separation? Puka's just going to win a 50-50.
Yeah, and I get it. So I would have if you said I'm on Ross St. Brown, I'd be completely fine with that one too. I think
no JSN for you.
I did not. I left him. I put him on my bench for sure. I'd absolutely put him on my bench, but you made me pick 4, and I wanted to pick a running back, so I picked Gibbs. And so I went down a different path with Puka. Okay. And you know how much I love the Rams.
So you went Puka Nacua, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
You just can't. I mean, you understand Mahomes. I mean, he's not. I don't know if he's as quick and as shifty as Josh Allen. I don't know about that.
I don't think Josh Allen is shifty in any way. I think Josh Allen is a bull in a china shop.
No.
Yes, he is.
He's unbelievably athletic. Unbelievable.
Nobody says he's not athletic, but it's about it. He can't run through the other team in flag football, right? It's a different skill set. And if you told me who will run through the other team, I'd pick Josh Allen. Mahomes will evade the other team, and he does it so well, and he sidesteps people, and he gets out of bounds, and he finds ways to not get touched. This is a game for Patrick Mahomes.
Do you think NFL players, top tier, will play in the Olympics in a year and a half? 2 years, I guess.
Do I think they will?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
You do.
Do I think they should? No, they should not.
They should not?
No, because somebody's going to tear an Achilles on that field.
Oh, come on.
Somebody's going to tear an MCL or an ACL. And if he's on my team and he's playing for flag football, I don't care.
This is the Olympics. You're trying to tell.
Flag. It's not real football.
Oh, come on.
Are you kidding me?
Listen,
it's good for kids. It's good for kids. It's not. These are professional athletes making. If you're the owner of a team, the general manager of the Denver Broncos, the owner, you somehow got. You finagled your way into the Walmart family.
I got Jalen Waddle out there. We just signed him. Let's put him in. Put him in.
You want him playing for USA flag football?
I do.
And if he gets hurt, you're not going to be upset?
You're being disrespectful to the Olympics. So you're telling me LeBron and Steph shouldn't have played? They shouldn't have played.
It's a little different in basketball, right?
What?
It's a little different in basketball.
No, it's the same thing.
They're playing real basketball. This is not real football.
So if it was real football, he could have get their heads bashed in, then you'd let him do that.
You want to represent your country playing real football, the sport you actually play? I'm all for it. This is don't get me wrong, I like flag football, and I'm interested in it. Professionals don't need to go play flag football. No, they don't.
So listen, you just like the pro flag football players to do it, meaning there are guys that play flag football for a living. You want them to do it instead?
Yes, because it's a different sport, right? This is not pro tackle football.
So we want Jimmy Lipper and Skippy out there, and we've never heard of them representing the USA.
It happens all the time in other sports.
We could have Justin Jefferson and Josh Allen.
Yeah, I don't need to see them play flag football during the middle of the Olympics. I want to have them ready, particularly when the Olympics is in August, right? I mean, this is during training camp, so they're going to miss training camp to go play flag football? No thanks. Not interested.
And you complained when the USA dropped their stars from the NBA too, right? You probably complained when we dropped our stars. We just let the scrubs go out there.
Okay,
you didn't like that either.
Again, I disagree with that. It's a different sport, right? They're playing real basketball as opposed to this fake football. It's fake. Let's be fair. Football's meant to be tackled.
This is the Olympics.
Secondly, it's right as they're preparing for an NFL season. Basketball, it doesn't affect their preparations for the season when they play in the Olympics.
Well, you're going to hear it on this show. I mean, I got to tell you, I never thought we'd get in an argument about flag football. We were just going to have a little fun picking our teams, and I didn't know you wanted Jimmy Lipper out there instead of Patrick Mahomes.
I don't want professionals who are playing on teams to be playing in this other thing in the middle of their preparation for a season. No, not interested.
Wow, that's interesting. I got to do this. Huskers are going to pay Matt Rule some extra money. Is this good? Does this make sense? Other coaches get some extra money for media stuff. What about Matt Rule? We'll wrap up the show with that next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
At Dakota Bank, we're more than just a place to bank. We're your neighbors. From everyday banking to home mortgages, insurance, and trust services, we're here for every step of your financial journey. We believe in doing what's right for you because we live here, work here, and care about our communities just like you do. Go with confidence, go with trust, go with Dakota Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Insurance and investment products are not FDIC insured, may lose value, and have no bank guarantee.
This isn't just the sound of a legendary Brunswick pool table. It's the sound of families about to make memories together. And while this may sound like the hum of a spa, listen closely, and you'll hear backyard fun for years to come. So while Splash City's guarantee of quality sure sounds good, we know quality time sounds even better.
Who wants another burger? Splash City, 1024 West Omaha, across from Connects in Rapid City.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. A red flag warning continues until 9 p.m. tonight. Mainly clear skies tonight with a low of 48. Northwesterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Ample sunshine expected tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 78. Partly cloudy skies tomorrow night. Lows level off around 45. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, 78.
It's GMC Truck Month at Spearfish Motors, and the deals are as tough as the trucks. Right now, get up to $8,250 in total savings on light-duty Sierra 1500s, or choose 0% financing. During Truck Month, save up to $3,500 on Sierra HDs built to handle the heavy lifting. Whether it's work, play, or anything in between, there's a GMC truck ready for you.
Shop online at spearfishmotors.com.
GMC, we are professional grade.
Ready to be part of something big? Meet the Rapid City Sports Commission, the powerhouse behind sports in Rapid City. The commission focuses on bringing regional and national tournaments, supporting homegrown events, and creating opportunities for our kids. But it's not just games, it's a win-win for all of us. Youth sports fuel our economy. Hosting events in Rapid City means out-of-town families shop, dine, and stay with us, which boosts sales tax revenues too. To get in on the action, visit rcsportscommission.com, where we're all about the hustle.
If you're in the market for a vehicle right now, you probably have noticed it's sometimes hard to find the right one. That's where Summit Automotive Group steps in. Stacy and Matt and their staff working hard to get a great selection of pre-owned vehicles at affordable prices. At Summit Automotive, they have a different outlook on selling you a vehicle. You'll experience stress-free shopping, friendly, honest service with no high-pressure sales gimmicks. Before you buy, drop by East Highway 44, SummitAutoGRP.com.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
Welcome in. 2 minutes left. You found us. The Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Radio across South Dakota with Rob Kegron in studio. It's Thursday Happy Hour. Are we happy with Matt Rule, Husker head coach, getting an extra $5 million this year? His salary is going to be $13.5 million for 2026. They're going to pay him for his NIL rights, merchandise with his likeness on it, his podcast rights. Nebraska's going to make revenue, they say, off of his podcast. He's got 13,000 subscribers, something like that, to the House Rules. Does this make sense? Nebraska broadcaster Gary Sharp told me tonight, this is it. Other coaches have stuff like this. This is like the media appearances and the fees like that. So $5 million for Matt Rule's podcast and NIL rights.
Seems a bit steep to me. I'm not against it in principle by any means, and I certainly think coaches who use those platforms to get their brand out there, to get the to get more awareness of their program, to make a connection. I mean, that's how you're going to connect with young athletes now, right? Through different means. So I have no problem with that. $5 million for Rule. He hasn't done a whole lot. Is he really moving the needle in a podcast? In fairness, I haven't heard it, so I can't judge. Right? I'll have to take a listen.
He's out there, though. I mean, I've seen it.
And I would say Rule is generally an interesting character, generally pretty good in press conferences. I like to listen to him. I think if he's really getting a footing in that space, then it might be worth way more than that. But right now, kind of mediocre so far. I don't know it's worth $5 million.
$13.5 million is going to go, and this $5 million is going to go into like an LLC for Matt Rule that he has, and then he's going to go 7-5 or worse.
Oh, no.
They might not be happy. For Rob Kagron, it's Nate Brown. That's it. We're out the door. See you next week. Have a good weekend.
The following radio ad is Good Fun Squad approved.
My name is Jenny, and I'm the lady at the South Dakota Lottery who writes out those big checks